Hello everybody. Just a couple weeks ago I was rummaging through my shed, bringing a bunch of stuff to make some more videos, and I ran into a box of what was labeled as Southern California sand dollars, and some of those echinoids were Dendraster gibbsii. They're not the best compared to what I've seen in years past, but I thought these are super hard, so I'm just take the best ones. I had a whole bag of them and polish them up and just see how they come out. And even though this video isn't even out, 3 of them out of the 5 that I polished are already gone. People seem to love their echinoids. The missus got one too. So anyways, hope you enjoy this. Last week I went down to one of my fossil sheds on a different property and brought home a bunch of stuff. And with that stuff was this bag full of these sand dollars, which I think are from the Bakersfield area. I just cannot remember, and not that I went there, but I think I traded for these a long time ago, 30 years ago. Anyways, I went through all these looking for the best candidates, and there's something wrong with just about every one of these. For polishing anyways, and these are the candidates that I've picked out that I think will be the best for polishing. For smoothness, let me see if I can show you, like if you can see the difference. This one has missing shell on the test here, the top of the test, so I don't want that one. For this one, it has some discoloration. Whether that's going to add to the beauty of it or not, I don't know. This one has a lot of gritty sand on it, but I think it's pretty flat. It should come out okay. Once you start grinding on these, you'll find out. But I think these are extremely hard. That could be a good one, I don't know. But I'll show you how I do these and how they turn out. Hopefully we'll get one good one out of the batch. I've got all of me tools ready to go, I think. I've got aluminum oxide grinding wheels that will go into the Fordham handpiece. That may be a bit too aggressive, I don't know, and if so, I've got my sanding barrels, one with a very coarse grit, one with a finer grit, and of course the polishing wheel itself. Don't have the rouge out here. I use stainless steel rouge for polishing. It's worked fine for me for 30 some years. So anyways, I've also got my air scribe out here because one of these, you can see that has got a whole blob of concreted sand on there. Whether I destroy the sand dollar or take it off or not, I don't know, but I'm going to find out. In fact, let me move some of this stuff and we'll find out right now. So, take your air scribe. Whoa, that came off pretty nice. Well, that took the brunt of it off anyways. Boy, that's some coarse, gritty sand on there. Don't know if I want to sand that off or wear it off with the air scribe. So anyways, here are my candidates. Let's start with this easy. Oh, that's got one got the hole in it. Don't want that one. Boy, another one with coarse sand on it. The flower pattern on this, it's upraised, so whether that's going to polish or not very well, I don't know. These are all kind of iffy. Alright, I'm going to start with this one right there. See what happens. So let me get my equipment ready and show you what's going on. Whoop. I figured before I start sanding on these and grinding, I'm going to get this gritty sand off. I've done half of it, and then I can see the contours of this, which are really hard to see, but there's definitely contours on here. I would love for these to be as flat as possible, but that's apparently not going to happen. So I'm just going to finish taking these sandy dollars are actually an extinct species of sand dollar from the Pliocene. There's one. Now for the other. And there's two, or at least the ones that were actually coated with that crusty sand. So, to the next step. Okay, trying a different camera angle so you guys can see this. Trial and error. I'm going to use the, like I said, use the aluminum oxide sanding wheel first. Grinding wheel, whatever it's called. Here goes nothing, because I don't know how hard the material is on these sand dollars. Hold it. Always put your dust mask on. Trying to keep my fingers out of the way. You can see how the contours on this making it hard to get in those little spots. So at an angle, can be done, it just makes it harder. I don't know how thick this shell material is, so I'm hoping I don't go through it. So there's a rough out anyways. You can see that pattern. So, but a lot of work to do. I was hoping that would be flatter, and it's not. So these are going to be a job. I'm going to rough out these ones and then go to the next stage. Okay, I roughed all these out. I picked out a couple more. These are the three I'm going to try to finish. These ones all have just too many problems. I don't know if you can see that or not, but a major crack with missing parts in it, so it's kind of a Grand Canyon there. This one I just don't like. I don't think you'll be able to see the flower pattern very well. This one just, it was falling apart on me. I mean, look at that, just terrible. Looks kind of cool, but not for polishing. This one is just uglier than sin. Don't know, I don't know. And this one, I started doing it and realized it's missing a piece of an edge here, piece of an edge here. So I picked on these three and just realized this one has a crack. A piece is going to be missing, so I thought I would take my cyanoacrylate and just put some glue on the back side. Should wick through to the front side, which it has. And I hope this doesn't turn green, because accelerator on certain fossils will turn green, so I'm not going to do the front side, just the back side. That'll hold that in place, hopefully. It's pretty strong stuff once it's cured and dried and stuff. So, on to the next step. Okay, I went to clean up my mess. Put all these back in the bag, and I found two more in the bag. So I've got this one, and now I can't even remember which other one. Anyways, it's now these four. So I've put on the finer sand barrel onto my handpiece here. It's from Fordham. Boy, and that handpiece is like 30 years old. And so here goes nothing. This might be the one with the best flower, so I'll start with that one. Don't forget your dust mask. Boy, that's going to be dark, Jesus. Anyways, the darker that gets, the more that flower pattern should come out. So, back to work. Luckily, these are really hard sand dollars. Well, at least most of them are. Wish they were easier to hold on to. Boy, that's a real bad area there. Anyways, that's most for that sander. For that one anyways. So, I'll finish up these three, and then go to the next step. Alrighty then, now comes the moment of truth, really. I've got some wet dry sandpaper, 320 and 600 grit. That should do it, I think. I'll find out in a moment. Obviously I'm going to start out with the 320 grit. I fold that into little thirds, that way it holds itself together while I'm working. Got some water, got my sandpaper. All you do is get it wet, that's why they call it wet dry, and you start sanding. The thing is, but since these aren't completely flat, you have to really get in there with your, well, I do it with my thumbnail against the sandpaper. I used to do so much of this that I would literally wear the skin off my fingers until they would bleed. Yeah, I was a nut. Anyway, you dry that off with a piece of towel and then look at it, and you'll be able to see what kind of scratches you got. What you're trying to do is get rid of all the small tool marks. And there's still some tool marks on there from the grinder, barrel sanders. But you just keep sanding away. Keep sanding away. Oh, I'm sanding my life away. Yeah, I know, I should have been a singer. And again, when you think you're done, sand it some more. That's what I've always found. A little tough on the fingers, at least nowadays, since I'm retired now. Doesn't take long though, really. Give that a rinse. Give that a dry, quick dry. That's not the best, but good enough for now. Now I'll do these four and show you what they look like. This next sand dollar is a bit harder. I went over it, and I don't think you can see it, but to the naked eye you can see all kinds of scratches left, just everywhere. So this is one of those where you have to do it again, dry it up, check it out, do it again, dry it up, check it out, and just keep doing that until there's no more scratches, because you don't want to have to fight scratches with 600 grit. Okay, that took, I don't know, I lost count, but that was about 10 different times of sanding and getting it dry and checking it out, and then it got down to just certain little spots where I'd have to sand, rinse it off, dry it off, check it out. That's not perfect, but that's good enough for me. This is actually the lengthiest process of this whole process. Lengthiest, well, you get the idea. Anyways, I still got 3 more to do, and then I got to do the 600 grit. So I got a lot to do. Back to work. Whew, jeez. That gets tough on the fingers. Really tough spot right there between those 2 bottom petals of that flower. But it's about as good as that was going to get. Of course, I'm not as picky as I used to be. Still, 2 more to go. Whew, jeez. No end to this. And I still haven't even done the 600 grit. Back to work! Gotta have more sandpaper, more of the 320 grit. This might do it. So, back to work. Or play. This is getting a little tough on certain parts of my fingers, especially this inside part of my thumb, or outside part, whatever you want to call that. I haven't done this for a while. But I enjoy it. I just call it work. Now back to work! Whew! Okay, last one. Thank goodness, my fingers are getting a little worn out. Get these edges first, don't want to forget the edges. It's going to be a tough one with all these weird ass contours to it. That's where my fingers start wearing out. Trying to press my thumbnail, which isn't much, into that sandpaper, into that little contoured part of the sand dollar. I should sound more scientific and say echinoids, but people will get the idea. Oh, jeez. Alright, I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, the sanding with the 320 grit wet dry sandpaper is done. Yeah, I probably could do a little bit more, but I'm not going to. I'm now going to use the 600. That won't take near as long as the 320 grit, but this will get rid of the 320 grit scratches, which are really hard to see, especially with my eyesight. So, what took me almost 2 hours for the first sanding of wet dry sandpaper now is only going to take maybe 20 minutes, if that. So, to work, and I'll show you when I'm done. Alright, that's as much time in sanding as I'm going to put in these babies. Believe you me, these are actually pieces of junk. The site these come from, which I never meant to, but people would find these were just absolutely white with what I call black spider web on it. Absolutely freaking gorgeous. But still, these will be pretty cool. These will be pretty neat. They're just not the A-grade ones that are from that site. And even some of the orange ones were really orange and also had the black spider web on it, which were extremely cool. Anyways, what I do is take my, oh, Jesus, what a crying out loud. Too many tools. I take my polishing wheel, some stainless steel polishing rouge, which is what I've been using for years. Get that baby going. Don't get that towards the camera. Load it up, and you'll see how it leaves the polishing rouge on it, which is fine. You just take that and keep going forward with it. Till you run out of stuff. When you run out of stuff, you load it up again. Also, when you do your polishing, you'll see exactly what you've missed. When your polishing wheel gets all gummed up, I take a rock with a sharp edge on it and literally run it along that sharp edge. And that pretty much cleans it up. Load it up again. You just keep doing that until your job is done. It's pretty easy. Just gotta hold on to it is all. A little bit more. Probably had a little too much on there. Just keep wearing it off. And there you go. One beautiful polished sand dollar. Very beautiful chocolatey brown. But you can definitely see that pattern on there. It's pretty nice. So, 4 more to go and I'll show you what they look like. And there you go, 5 polished sand dollars. This one didn't polish too good. It was actually some softer material, but still polished. This is my favorite one, second favorite one, third favorite one, fourth favorite one. But best of all, they're good for Christmas gifts because I'm not going to keep any of this crap. But pretty cool. Old sand dollars from, I'm going to say Bakersfield. I'll try to find out information. I want to say Micraster, but I really don't know. I used to know. I've forgotten all kinds of stuff. Anyways, there's some beautiful polished sand dollars. Echinoids. There you go.